What's up, guys? We're here in San Francisco, and in this video, we're going to show you our top things to do here. So hope you enjoy it. San Francisco is a bustling metropolis in Northern California. Nicknamed the City by the Bay, it's famous for iconic US landmarks and steep hills dotted with Victorian-style houses. With its unique blend of history, natural beauty, and cultural experiences, it's one of the most intriguing cities to visit in the United States. In this video, we'll highlight 12 of the best things to do in and around San Francisco. At the end, we'll also share a few important travel tips for the city. Now let's dive in. We are Zach and Ina. We make helpful videos about destinations around the world so you can easily plan your own adventures. Twin Peaks are two prominent hills near the center of San Francisco. You can hike, drive, or take an Uber to the top and be rewarded with a 360-degree vista encompassing the entire city. This is the most elevated view that you can get. Bring a jacket as it can be very windy at the summit. There are many walking trails that lead up and down the peaks into some fascinating neighborhoods like the Castro and Haight-Ashbury. Head to Alamo Square in the heart of San Francisco for a classic postcard view. This park offers a grassy knoll facing a row of beautiful Victorian houses, known as the Painted Ladies. Each of these houses has its own architectural details and pastel tones, and they really stand out against the modern San Francisco skyline in the distance. Relax on the lawn or have a picnic while enjoying the view. Located at the waterfront, the Ferry building is an iconic landmark that once served as a major transportation hub. Today, it's a bustling marketplace, featuring nearly 50 independent vendors selling gourmet foods and crafts. Grab a seat at a waterfront restaurant and soak in the vibrant atmosphere. The building itself is open daily from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., but the farmers market with fresh produce only runs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Situated on Pier 15 and 17, the Exploratorium is an interactive science museum. Unlike traditional museums, you don't just look and read, but you actually engage and try out experiments. There are over 600 exhibits divided across 6 galleries, including themes like human phenomena, tinkering, and observing landscapes, among others. The Exploratorium is a playground for all ages, making for a fun family outing. But on Thursday evenings from 6 to 10 p.m., the museum also hosts a kids' free night, which is great for adults looking to have a fun date. Once a bustling commercial port for Chinese and Italian fishermen, Fisherman's Wharf is located on San Francisco's northern waterfront. Today, it's the prime tourist hub, where you can find many different attractions. One of our favorites is Ghirardelli Square, a former chocolate factory transformed into a charming complex with shops and restaurants. A couple of other great things in the area include Musée Mécanique with its variety of old-school arcade games, and Pier 39 with its wild sea lion sightings and entertainment. On a sunny day, it's fun to just stroll around and take in the vibrant atmosphere. Fisherman's Wharf is known for its great seafood. If you want to try a specialty of the area, you should try one of these sourdough clam chowder bowls. Extending from the city center to the Pacific Ocean, Golden Gate Park is a massive urban park with a variety of attractions. This stretch of green space is 3.5 miles or 5.6 kilometers long and is home to museums, lush gardens, and event spaces. The park offers something for everyone, and we recommend spending at least a half day here to take it all in. Observe protected bison at the Bison Paddock, check out the windmill at Queen Wilhelmina Garden, admire the architecture of the California Academy of Sciences, explore the expansive botanical garden, or check out art collections at De Young Museum. The latter one also has an observation deck that you can visit for free. But our favorite spot in the park is the serene Japanese tea garden, a peaceful oasis of trees, koi ponds, and pagodas. Located at the city's northwestern tip, San Francisco's Presidio is a former military base that's been transformed into a protected recreation area. Inside the park, you can find the Yoda Fountain and some other famous Star Wars characters at the Lucasfilm headquarters. But Presidio is especially known for its panoramic vistas of the Golden Gate Bridge and Pacific Ocean, with many viewpoints to choose from. Our favorite views include Veterans Overlook, the historic Fort Point, the Postcard Viewpoint, and the views along the Batteries to Bluffs hiking trail right above Baker Beach. The last one is especially beautiful at sunset. The best way to see the bay is by riding a bike across the Golden Gate Bridge to the charming town of Sausalito, stopping at some of the city's most celebrated landmarks. We joined a 3-hour guided biking tour, which started at the picturesque aquatic park and Fisherman's Wharf. We then continued to Fort Mason, the Marina, the Palace of Fine Arts, the Presidio, and onto the famous Golden Gate Bridge. After crossing the windy bridge, it was time to ride down into the picturesque bayside town of Sausalito. The tour ended here, but the all-day bike rental allowed us time to visit the town at our own pace before returning back to the city by ferry.
San Francisco has some interesting history which you won't learn about while you're just exploring on your own.
So we highly recommend getting a local guide at least once when you're visiting the city. Which brings us to the sponsor of today's video. Get Your Guide is the leading online travel experience platform, and they offer more than 110,000 curated things to do and destinations all around the world. San Francisco has tons of unforgettable experiences to pick from. All of these are rated and reviewed by verified travelers just like us. This means you can find activities that match your interests and book with confidence. Their user-friendly app keeps everything organized, with bike tours, boat tours, and attraction tickets all in one convenient place. For us, biking across the Golden Gate Bridge was an unforgettable experience, since our guide explained so many different aspects of the city along the way. Each stop gave us new insights about the history of San Francisco, and by the end of the day, we had a much deeper understanding of the area. His local knowledge made all the difference. Since we booked the tour with Get Your Guide, we also enjoyed 24/7 customer support and a flexible cancellation policy. The fact that we could change our plans up to 24 hours in advance made it possible to adapt our itinerary if needed. Overall, we've enjoyed using Get Your Guide during all of our travels and definitely recommend them. Located south of downtown, Mission District is the heart of Latino culture. It was founded around Mission Dolores, the city's oldest intact building, which was constructed by Spanish missionaries in 1776. Stroll through Dolores Park, a spacious green area popular with locals for picnics, stunning city views, and a relaxed atmosphere. And don't miss Clarion Alley and Balmy Alley, narrow streets that have been transformed into open-air art galleries. These ever-changing murals act as powerful social and political statements, capturing the essence of the Mission District. Just north of San Francisco, across the Golden Gate Bridge, lies the Marin Headlands, a rugged peninsula with stunning views and outdoor activities. This is part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area and boasts dramatic cliffs, rolling hills, and hidden coves. The best way to explore this park is by hiking, driving, or biking its scenic trails and roads. You'll find breathtaking vistas of the Golden Gate Bridge and San Francisco Bay throughout the area. A view that you absolutely can't miss is Battery Spencer. Alcatraz is one of the world's most notorious prisons and is located on a small island in the bay. America's most ruthless criminals were held here between 1934 and 1963. Today, Alcatraz is a popular tourist attraction and is also part of the Golden Gate National Recreation Area. Getting here involves taking a ferry from Pier 33, and tickets need to be booked well in advance. On the island, you'll follow a 45-minute cell house audio tour, which takes you through the different areas of the prison while hearing stories from inmates and guards. There's also an interesting exhibit about the Native Americans who occupied the island from 1969 to 1971. Our tour also included a second cruise around the bay, which took us underneath the Golden Gate Bridge and had great city views. We left a link to the tour we booked in the description below the video. North Beach, also known as Little Italy, is a vibrant neighborhood nestled between Telegraph Hill and Russian Hill. While it doesn't have an actual beach, it does offer a sensory experience. Wander its character-filled streets, lined with cozy trattorias, restaurants, and bars. Literature fans can also grab a drink at one of its historic cafes. Vesuvio Cafe is a great one, and this was a popular hangout spot for Beat Generation writers like Jack Kerouac. But North Beach also boasts architectural gems, like Saints Peter and Paul Church at the edge of Washington Square Park. Consider a detour to the iconic Coit Tower sitting just above North Beach, with its steep filbert steps leading down to the waterfront. As we promised at the beginning of the video, we'll now share a few travel tips for San Francisco. First, San Francisco experiences a cool microclimate due to the nearby Pacific Ocean, so you need to pack layers when visiting. In fact, the city is famous for its fog, nicknamed Carl. The fog tends to burn off in the afternoon, so you might find mornings chilly and afternoons quite pleasant for exploring. The fog is unpredictable, so it's important to always bring something warm to wear just in case. While San Francisco is beautiful year-round, the summer months from June to August are known to be foggy and cool. The city rarely experiences hot weather, so pack a jacket regardless of the season. The best times to visit are generally considered to be September to November or March to May, when the skies are clear and the weather is mild. San Francisco offers a variety of transportation options. For a unique experience, try a ride in a self-driving robo-taxi. We used Waymo, which is currently available all around San Francisco. At the time of our visit, this was one of only 4 cities in the US where you could actually ride in one. Of course, ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft are also readily available. The The trolleys and cable car are another fun way to get around to tourist attractions, but they can get crowded. The cable car is especially popular with tourists and has 3 operating lines. The trolley, on the other hand, has several operating lines that crisscross the city, including the F line running from Fisherman's Wharf to Market Street. The BART is a convenient and affordable way to get to and from the airport. There are plenty of areas to stay in and around the city, each with its own unique charm. We stayed on Lombard Street, a great location with a mix of budget-friendly and more expensive options. Fisherman's Wharf and North Beach are other popular tourist areas with plenty of hotels. It's best to avoid areas like the Tenderloin, Soma, and Union Square, which have high rates of homelessness. And of course, there are a lot of other things to do in and around San Francisco that we didn't mention. We've put a list of other highlights on the screen here for you. If you're planning to do a road trip around other Western states after your visit to San Francisco, then make sure to check out our Western USA road trip video. We cover the best route through states like Arizona, Nevada, and Utah to iconic US landmarks. You might also find our interactive travel planner is a useful tool to keep things organized for your trip. Find a discount code in the description below the video. Finally, we included other important links in the description that will help you with your San Francisco experience, such as an interactive map so you can get to each place that we mentioned. We'll catch you on the next adventure.